Okay, we're live. Thank you all for joining me tonight. We have a subscriber request here on the channel from Greg Brewer. And yeah, tonight we're going to be watching the 2011 movie Hobo with a Shotgun. Apologies for the delay. I don't know what happened there, but I was trying to enter into the studio and everything was just completely black. I couldn't see myself on screen, but yeah, I think everything's running a bit more smoothly now, so apologies for that delay. But yeah, other than that though, yeah, so we're finally getting the Grindhouse movies up and off the ground and we're finally watching these movies. So yeah, I got Planet Terror and Death Proof scheduled. Gonna try to squeeze in Machete in there. Probably gonna get that done right after we get done with Planet Terror and Death Proof. But I that device. My other device is fried now. I don't have any other devices besides this one. But so it looks like we'll be live with Planet Terror. We'll do that one first, right after after tonight. We'll do that one on Sunday, but that's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we'll go on Tuesday, the 29th, with Death Proof at the usual time at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then more than likely, yeah, it looks like we're going to be doing these movies every other day right now. So I believe that'll be what 29th. Either the 31st or August 1st. We'll try to squeeze in Machete in there, but yeah, we'll see how things go. But yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen this movie. I had no time to actually watch this one on my own before doing this stream tonight. So yeah, it's been many years since I've seen this film, but man, what a fucking chaotic ride this one is. Really is. I mean, you just got to throw all the logic out the window with this movie. But yeah, provides plenty of blood and guts throughout it. Has really cool, colorful filters throughout it too. A lot of greens, yellows, violets, purples, blues, all types of different colors throughout it. But yeah, we have Rutger Hauer as the hobo in this, and I mean overall, I don't know. I think most people will probably agree with me that Rutger Hauer's. I think his best performance is probably him as Roy Batty in Blade Runner, which is really up there as one of my all-time favorite movies in general. But yeah, that's my favorite role from Rutger Hauer. But man, he is really impressive in this role, especially at his age in this movie too. That's another thing. But yeah, just a very chaotic ride with this movie. Another one that just does not let off the gas pedal at all. And yeah, so this movie's like what, like an hour, 24 minutes, something like that. So we should be here for an average of 2 hours tonight. I got the Internet Archive link is pinned at the top there for anyone who wants to join in and doesn't own the movie. But yeah, it looks like we have 5 people in the chat right now. So we'll go ahead and say hello to people. And then we'll probably get this started somewhere between the 20 and 30-minute mark. But yeah, I'll give you guys a heads up with that. All right, here in the chat we have Shangy Girl. What's up, Shangy? Cinephile World Order. Yeah, good to see you here. Hopefully all is well with you. And yeah, we have Greg Brewers here too, the one who requested this one. So glad I was able to get around to this one a lot sooner than later too. But and like it's the only thing that can really get in the way of subscriber requests is the anniversary streams, where like I try to get those streams done on the actual day that the movie was released. So that I wanted to make sure that nothing really got in the way. But I don't think there's really any other major significant anniversaries for the rest of this month. But another thing is too, if we can get these 4 movies done before August 2nd, we might be able to do the 40th anniversary on August 2nd for Fright Night. We might be able to do that. I'm going to see if I can squeeze that one in. But yeah, it's another one that's 40 years old this year. But yeah, good to see you here, Greg. Thanks again for the request. And yeah, hopefully all is well with you. But yeah, everything's good here with me. Besides the minor delay with the technical issues there. But yeah, everything's all good, man. Yeah, it should be a fun stream. That's another reason why I'm glad you requested this. I really was planning on doing the Grindhouse movies. I wasn't really thinking too much on Hobo or Machete, but once you requested Hobo, and I was like, well, I'm already planning on doing the Grindhouse movies. Why don't we just do them all, I mean, as far as Eli Roth Thanksgiving, we'll probably save that for November. It's probably the only one we're not going to do here. But yeah, I want to try to get these 4 movies done though, with Hobo, Planet Terror, Death Proof, and Machete. Yeah, rest in peace to Rucker Hauer. I think he was in his 70s. Another one that was in his 70s. I forget how old he was when he passed away, and what he passed away from exactly. But yeah, another one that was really just gone way too soon. But he was another actor though that really just he acted all the way up to the day he died. Which is I really think as an actor, as long as you're physically able to keep doing your job as an actor, I don't. I personally think a professional actor, there's no retirement. That word just doesn't exist. You should be performing until you physically cannot do it anymore. But everyone's got their own code of doing that, I guess you could say. But me personally, I think, if you're a professional actor, you should act all the way up until you physically cannot do it anymore. Greg saying, if anyone hasn't seen this film, it's a crazy ride, but it's good. It really is. It's an eye opener, that's for sure. I was really surprised when when this movie actually happened, because we got the trailers and everything in the Grindhouse movies, and the trailer just looked like such a fun ride, along with the Machete movie and everything. And I mean, it actually would have been pretty cool if we could have got Edgar Wright to do the Don't movie. Imagine that. Imagine how much fucking fun that could have been. Maybe have like the Wayans brothers involved or something with that. But I think it's overall, just to have at least 3 of those movies, or 3 of those trailers turned into movies, is pretty impressive, especially for how well all 3 movies are. And thinking on with Machete right now too. That's another one I haven't seen in a while. But I did see the Grindhouse movies in the theater when they were released. I remember, yeah, it was Planet Terror, then Death Proof, and all, the trailers in between. I did see Machete in the theater too. I didn't see Hobo in the theater, but I can't really remember why. I don't know. Maybe I was just busy and couldn't make time for it. But that's the only one I didn't see in the theater. That's involved with these movies. Let's move up here in the comments. Yeah, thank you too, Greg. And Greg, let me know in the comments if you own this movie, because I do have another copy of it that I just don't need. I could send this to you. So let me know in the comments if you own Hobo or not, on Blu-ray or whatever, so I can, gladly send you a copy. And, I think I actually have like 2 or 3 of these, because these at one point were showing up at Dollar Tree back when the movies were still, at $1 each. So I was like, why don't I just buy these? Spend an extra, like $2 or $3 to have more copies of these, just to, give to people as gifts. Why the fuck not? But yeah, Greg, just let me know down in the comments if you own that. If not, I will gladly send it to you. It's no problem at all. But yeah, thank you again for the request there, Greg. And we got George's here, the Sailor Outlaw. What's up, G? What's going on there, George? Hopefully all is well with you. We got Anthony Chobits here too. What's up, Anthony? Yo, Sean, I got 3 weeks left in my program. Got me a VHS today. Okay, let me know in the comments there what title you got there on VHS today. Anthony's saying he's seeing Fantastic Four on Tuesday. Yeah, that's the next superhero movie that's coming out. After Superman here, but I have not seen Superman yet. I'm going to try to make time for that by the end of summer. I know Dangerous Animals. I know Jim over at Jim's Movie Channel just told me that Dangerous Animals is available on there. I know I've been hearing mixed things about it, but I'm still very interested and intrigued to just see it myself. And I don't know. I just really get the vibe from seeing the trailer, like whether or not it's good or not. I feel like I'm going to at least enjoy it for a one-time watch. So probably going to try to get that checked out. See if I can find time for it this weekend. And we got Russell's here. What's up, Mr. Collier? Hey, Sean, how's your mom and dog? My mom's doing okay right now. Nothing major to complain about. The dog she's doing perfectly fine. Spoiled as usual. She's taking a nap behind me right now. But yeah, thanks for asking there, Russell. Hopefully all is well with you too. And yeah, hopefully you guys are just having a good weekend so far. I know it's Friday night here. had to push this one back a little bit further, and then we had the delay there, so we didn't even get started here till 11:25 Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, Anthony's saying I got 900 subs. I had to say goodbye to Brianna. Oh, that's right. That was yesterday, I believe. You said that funeral was for her, man. That's very sudden and tragic, man. I'm sorry you had to go through that, but it's good to see your channels hit 900 there. One of your channels, I can't keep up with it, so I don't know. Milestones are always good, but speaking of that, I'm getting closer to 300. Like I'm at 296. I think last time I looked at 296 subs. So I'm 4 away from 300. My goal was to at one point I was like, man, if I could just get to 300 by the end of the year, like that'll be an accomplishment. So it looks like I'm going to be getting past that sooner than later at this point. But I'm just going to go ahead and put another goal in place. Maybe I can get to 500 by the end of the year. We'll fucking see. But yeah, it's good to see that the channel's it's doing good. I'm finding more time to get my channel out there, watch people's content, and leave comments, interact with people, and yeah, I have more time for that stuff now, and just doing my best to try to get this channel just to grow a little bit more, and just to hang out and enjoy interacting with you guys. Yeah, that's another one that's worth mentioning there, Greg. Right, Blind Fury. That's a favorite of his, he's saying. And I have that in a triple feature pack with the Chuck Norris movie, Silent Rage. I believe it's like a Mill Creek Entertainment Blu-ray. But yeah, I think that is or one of the better Rucker Hauer movies, on top of movies like, obviously like Nighthawks, Blade Runner, the Hitcher, my God, he's fucking scary good in the Hitcher though, that's for sure. But that's another thing I really do enjoy about this movie. It's just the fact that Rucker Hauer, as an actor, character actor, whatever you want to label him as, he's always known for playing the villain. And in this movie, it's the opposite. He's actually the hero in this one. He's the hobo with the shotgun, fucking laying down the law. He's hit that point in his life, when he's living on the streets and just seeing how ravaged the whole neighborhood and atmosphere and the environment is. So over time, he just gets tired of it. Gets tired of seeing all the bullshit, and he realizes that all the cops are dirty and corrupt in this movie, and gets his hand on a shotgun and starts fucking blowing people away, and it's just a relentless ride. And we got Sue is here from the Bud Files. What's up there, Sue? Yeah, hopefully all is well with you, and yeah, good to see you here. Hopefully you're having a good weekend so far, and yeah, it's blah 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 blah. Sorry, but no, it's what the hell? I'm just like I can't even think for a second or what the hell I'm about to say. But no, Sue over at the Bud Files. It seems like every time I go to like one of your premieres, I go in the chat, I say hello, I talk to people or whatever. I usually like end up getting like at least like another subscriber out of that. Like, like there's just very supportive people that come over to your channel, and you always do like a milestone shout out whenever you reach a certain milestone, and that really helps other channels grow. So I just want to say thank you for for everything you do here on YouTube, and how it can really help other channels too, with everything that you guys do with you and Joe. But yeah, just keep doing what you guys do over there on your channel, and yeah, appreciate the support from you guys. That's another thing. So you always find time for like everybody too, man. That's hard to juggle. That is really hard to accomplish, but to me, it's impressive to say. And Russell Collier saying the fake trailer and film were made by guys from Nova Scotia and Canada. Yeah, big fan of Rucker Hauer and asked them to be in their film. Yeah, that's right. This is a Canadian movie, right? And you also get Ricky from Trailer Park Boys in the beginning of this movie. He's not in it very long, but he gets a very epic death scene, And we have Ryan's here. What's up there, Rye? Good to see you here. Hopefully all is well with you. We're coming up on 15 minutes here soon. So we'll probably maybe in about 10 minutes. Try to get this started, see how things go. What the hell? Oh. But yeah, hopefully, like my audio's not cutting in and out because I had, a delay there with going live. My screen was just completely black. Hopefully, the internet is not screwing up or anything. But yeah, hopefully, everything is just smooth sailing for anyone who's tuning in here. But yeah, it looks like we have 7 people in the chat right now. And okay, so Ryan's saying it's her birthday on Sunday. All right, so yeah, happy. I'm just gonna say happy pre-birthday, but we should be live on Sunday, but do your thing on your birthday, do what you think is best for yourself. But if you have nothing else better to do, as of right now, we will be live here at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Planet Terror to get things started with the Grindhouse movies, even though this is technically getting everything started with that. It's going to be 4 movies overall. Tonight we're doing Hobo with a Shotgun. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to do Planet Terror. And then Tuesday, we'll do Death Proof. That'll be at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sunday is 8 p.m. And then, we're going to do every other day. So it'll probably be the 31st or August 1st. We'll probably close things out with Machete. But yeah, thanks for letting me know that, Brian. But yeah, hopefully you'll have a good birthday, though. I didn't have a good one this year, unfortunately. But, it's just another day to me. I'm 42 years old now. But yeah, George is saying the Grindhouse trilogy is life. Yeah, right? The blood is life. The blood of the Grindhouse movies is the life. And Russell's saying, watching our HWAS. Oh, Hobo with a Shotgun DVD. All right. Sometimes abbreviations screw me up. It takes a little time for it to register, but no, it's good to see you have a copy of that one there, Russell. Oh, Russell, I know you bought some movies in the past from like Second Sight. You didn't have like a region-free player. Let me know in the comments if you got that fixed. Hopefully, you got that issue fixed. That's the thing when you're a new collector. You don't know the ins and outs of everything, but yeah, it's honestly that happened to me before when I was like, starting to collect and I wasn't aware of region codes. I remember I bought an imported Puppet Master set and apparently it was like region B and I was like, what the fuck? Like, why isn't this thing fucking playing? And I had to go on Google and, get a lesson out of that and realize that there's region codes. But man, region codes are so fucking stupid. They really are. But that is why, like, me being a collector and how I collect things, I have to make sure I have a region free player. And I think another thing that's beneficial with being region free is, or at least in my experience, it seems like I can find a lot of region B releases, region B titles, a lot cheaper than like the region A titles that we have here in America. I don't know. I just seem to get lucky, I guess. I don't know what some of these, foreign and region B or C or D or whatever the region code is. I just end up finding some of these releases for a lot cheaper, especially like Arrow Video titles too, which can be pricey, but you're, always worth the money though. Greg's saying, cool, happy birthday for Sunday, Ryan. And yeah, Anthony's birthday's coming up. I think you're in December, Anthony, or it's either October or December. I forget, something like that. I forget. I know I sent you a package on your birthday like a couple years ago. I sent you like a bunch of DVDs, some Blu-rays. I remember sending you like a copy of Die Hard. I think I did. Actually, I did add some VHS tapes in there too. And we have Caveman's here. What's up there, guy? Caveman movies and more. Hey, Sean, everyone, please hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button. It's always helpful. So, yeah, George is saying his birthday's coming up soon, so. And Russell's saying happy early birthday to Ryan. And so George Sailor Outlaw. There's nothing more hotter than a stripper with a machine gun for a prosthetic leg, in my opinion. Yeah. Rose McGowan, man, she is badass in Planet Terror, right? Fun to watch, man. I remember when I saw Grindhouse in the theater too. Like, like my expectations were actually very high for it and everything, and I had such a good time with that. I remember it was like me and this guy Brian. I used to like hang out with like more often and stuff. Someone who's just not on the internet or on YouTube, but or me and him, like we actually smoked before we went into the theater and everything. So like we were lit out of our minds, which was just perfect for everything that was about to unfold on screen with that. And yeah, Planet Terror, man, seeing that in the theater was really a memorable experience. I wish we could get more movies like that where you get like, two movies, a double bill, and one night screening. I wish we could see things like that more often. And guy over at Caveman saying Rucker Howard died from pancreatic cancer on July 19th, 2019 at his residence in the Netherlands, age 75. Yeah, I knew he was in his 70s. I know it, but yeah, pancreatic cancer, man. I think Patrick Swayze died from that. And apparently he actually got the pancreatic cancer, Patrick Swayze, because apparently when you're a smoker and you quit smoking, you actually increase your chances of getting pancreatic cancer. And that's what happened to Patrick Swayze, which is just fucking crazy. But, Patrick Swayze was a heavy smoker. I think he smoked like somewhere between like 2 and 3 packs a day. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, that is literally like a cigarette in your mouth like every other minute. But yeah, between him and Val Kilmer, they really enjoyed their cigarettes. And Russell's saying he turned 69 in 11 days, man. That's good. That's good to see though, Russell, really. I know, like, I'm not going to sit here and like reflect on like, your the way you lived and your lifestyle and everything, but I think everything that you've been through and, the fact that you're still here with us, you have your health and, you're about to roll over into your 70s, man. I think that deserves a pat on the back there, man. Seriously. That's good to see though, man. Oh, guys saying happy birthday to you there, Russell. Yeah, George is saying happy early birthday to you too, Russell. What's 11 days from now? So I think you're like August 7th. If I had to take a guess, I'm bad with numbers, so forgive me. But I mean, if you want, Russell, just put your actual birthday down there in the chat. I'll try to see if I can remember that. Yeah, that's another one that's worth mentioning there, Greg. Split Second, 1992 is another one. That's one I got to pick up and get into my collection, man. Split Second. But all right, so we're at the 23-minute mark. Let's go ahead and get the show rolling. So, all right, Internet Archive link is pinned at the top for anyone who doesn't own the movie and wants to join in with us here. The movie is, like an hour, 24 minutes, not a long one. Another thing is, this movie really breezes by quickly. Kind of like how, like the other night when we were watching The Devil's Rejects for the 20th anniversary, like to me, that stream just went poof, like 2 hours was just there and gone quickly. But yeah, just a very enjoyable ride with this one. So, all right, if you guys are ready, we'll do a 10-1 here. And yeah, I got some new Mountain Dew here. New Mountain Dew. This is the Summer Freeze. It's got 3 flavors in this thing. Almost looks like one of those like rocket pops, but yeah, it is cherry, lemon, and raspberry. And surprisingly, it's very fucking good. Very fucking good. I bought this first I bought one of those like 20-ounce bottles. I was like, let's just give it a try. It sounds interesting. And I was like, wow, it's actually really fucking good. It's got like like the color of the soda itself is that blue that you see on the can. But yeah, if you're a soda person, you like those flavors of cherry, lemon, and raspberry, I'd say give this a spin, man. I was very, very satisfied with this, but that's what I'm drinking here. No alcohol tonight. Probably not this weekend at all. But yeah, overall, I'll usually drink on like a Saturday night at this point. Like one day a week anymore. All right, let's go. Let's do a 10 to 1 now. Then I'll get back to the chat. Okay. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play, bitches. Now, for anyone that is using the archive link, compared to owning it on Blu-ray, I think we're going to be off by 11 seconds, and that's because of an intro in the beginning, but 11 seconds isn't really that much of a big deal. So just giving you guys a quick heads up on that. But yeah, when you pull up that archive link, that Alliance intro should pull up right away. See, the difference is on the Blu-ray, you actually get the magnet releasing logo in the beginning. So someone didn't add that in when they uploaded that to archive. But, I really love that throwback intro that we get with this too, with his train ride into the fucking, I guess you can call it Fucktown that they call it here in this movie, but yeah, you kind of get like that, I don't know, like, I guess like the music to describe here is like almost like a spaghetti western in a way. Kind of like a Django type of movie. But yeah, I think everything about this movie is just done perfectly, man. And I think another thing is you could argue, like, I think this is, with all due respect, this is another movie where you could just, shut your brain off, throw all the logic out the window, and just enjoy yourself. Yeah, like, let's say like you've never seen this, or like let's say like this wasn't even like thought of to be done. Could you really picture Rucker Hauer as a hobo bum being a hero? I'm going to say probably not, just based on the fact that he's always known to be the villain in movies. So, but, obviously, he tackles this role very well. Let's get back to the chat here. We have 6 people in here right now. Yeah, Hulk Hogan's no longer with us. Hopefully these celebrity deaths will start to slow down, man. We've been hit with too many people dying recently. Hulk Hogan, what was he, like 71? Another one in his 70s, but unfortunately, man, a lot of wrestlers just don't have long lifespans. It probably has a lot to do with their lifestyle and using certain enhancement drugs and stuff. Who fucking knows, man? But I think the autopsy report is out for Hulk Hogan. I haven't looked at it yet. But yeah, I'll get around to checking that out. But yeah, rest in peace to Hulk Hogan, man. He's another one that's not with us now. Oh, that's one I forgot about there, Ryan. The 1988 horror movie, Bad Dreams, another Rucker Hauer film as well. Right, right. I forgot about that one. That's another one I don't own. I will admit, like, I've never really been crazy about that movie. But yeah, it's not a bad movie for what it is. That's for sure. I know it has that one girl from, I think, Sleepwalkers, or maybe one of the Elm Street movies. I forget the actress's name. But yeah, obviously Rucker Hauer as the hobo. He's in Fucktown now, and this is where Ricky from Trailer Park Boys is gonna come running out, handcuffed with a fucking manhole lid around his neck. Another thing that sucks though is like thinking about with the fact that we can't have video, you can't play video clips unless you want to pay for a legit account on StreamYard. I would have had a lot of fun like clipping stuff for doing these movies, with the trailers and everything, but just is what it is. Fortunately, we can't have just a little bit more fun on here. You got to pay for that. Fucking $40 some a month just to have a StreamYard account with video clips. But I mean, just this whole execution here, with Ricky getting killed here, this sets the tone for what you're getting the rest of the way with this movie. Now, this actor that plays the drug kingpin, whatever you want to call him, his name's Drake, you know, with the two fucked up sons here. I feel like he looks familiar, but I cannot pinpoint what other movies he's been in and if they are actually anything that's been notable or well known. So maybe some of you guys can let me know down here in the chat if this actor who plays Drake, if he's done anything else that's like notable or memorable in any way. We gotta love this random hooker here, you know, with the white fur coat. You know, she's the one who just sits there and lets herself be doused in Ricky's blood when he loses his head. But I really think this is a very inventive execution here, you know, with the barbed wire noose around his neck, and he just takes off in the pickup truck and his head just lops off. Ivan and Slick. Yeah, that's right. That's their names. Ivan and Slick. They even have fucking jackets with their names on the back to make the douchebag factor stand out a bit more, right? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Drake Show. It'd be funny if, like, so, like, you know, well, it's like 2011. Like, what if like Sid Haig is like Captain Spaulding, like showed up in this or something? Anthony's still kicking with the memoirs, man. Jesus Christ, and he'll probably be working on those memoirs forever. Yeah, it's another good one to mention there, Greg. Surviving the Game with Rucker Hauer, Ice-T. That's one I do have in my collection. That, to me, that's a very underrated action movie right there, man. Action thriller. Oh man, that's a fun fucking movie, man. That one really. I mean, you even get what's his name in it, that black guy from Alien 3, Charles something. I can't remember his name right now. I'm sure someone will correct me here in the chat, but you know, I didn't see that movie. I it was around like the time that Scream Factory released that Blu-ray. I bought it like a year later, and I was seeing clips here and there about it, and I was just like, you know, like why don't I just give this movie a spin? I went into it blindly and just bought it, and yeah, like it was on sale. That was like another reason why I gave a chance on a blind buy with it. But I really enjoyed that movie, man. Even like Ice T is actually very impressive in that. Fright Night is the best, or Friday Night is the best night. I'm sorry, I read that wrong there, George. Yeah, Friday night is the best night, right? You know, the one night that kicks off the weekend, right? Can't get any better than that. There goes Ricky's head, lopped off with a barbed wire noose. This fucking random hooker here with the fucking white fur coat, just letting herself be doused in Ricky's blood. Of course, Drake doesn't have a drop on him with his white suit. That's another thing that's very fun about this movie is the effects and prosthetic work. You know, you get a lot of practical, cool effects in this movie. I don't even think you get a drop of CGI in this. I love what Slick says there. Enjoy the ride, my favorite fucking uncle, which is referring to Ricky and his fucking head that's been lopped off, and they put it on the front of the fucking car as like, you know, the car emblem is now their fucking dead uncle's head. Enjoy the ride, my favorite fucking uncle. Oh yeah, the hobo. You know, Rucker as the hobo. He gets a he gets a mouthful of what Fucktown is about early on, man. Right off the bat, right off the bat. There, you know, he picks up the knocked over cart, starts filling it up with cans and shit, trying to make his way in the world, get some money in his pocket. So then, yeah, he comes across this random store. What is this? The Pawn Till Dawn store or whatever the fuck it is. Maybe it's a hardware store. I don't know. But yeah, he sees a lawnmower in the window. And I think this is what really makes him reflect on his life. There's a little TV playing on there. It's like a black and white film of some guy like cutting his lawn. And he realizes, you know, he wishes he had the money. He wishes he had the $49.99 for that lawnmower so he could just have more of a laid back life and be left the fuck alone. Oh yeah, he's digging through the dumpster right now. This is where he's writing shit on a cardboard sign. Need money for 5-year-old son who lost leg. And Russell saying, great in the medieval film Flesh and Blood. Yeah, Flesh plus Blood, whatever you want to call that one. That's one I haven't seen in a long time. That's another one I forgot Rutger Hauer's in. And George, the Sailor Outlaw, said he's close to 900 subscribers too, man. That's good to see, man. I think, for the subscribers who are at that point, like around like 7, 8, 900 subscribers, you guys should, I don't have to tell you guys should know what it's like and what you have to put in to get to that point. It's tough to get your channel up to there. I know my channel, when I was terminated at 1,800 subscribers, it took me like almost 5 years just to get the 1K. So, and I had to, like I've ran contests on my channel. I've actually put money into the channel. I've never taken money off of people. I've never had that join option or super chats. I've never had anything of that. But I've had people send me packages. So like that's the only way I'll ever accept something from someone. If someone wants to send me like a package, like that's the only way I'll accept something from someone. But I mean, I've had people ask me like, where's the join option? I want to, donate money, and I'm just like, no, I don't, I can't turn YouTube into a job. Work is work, and YouTube is for free time and to have, no stress and just to have a good time. So I'd like to keep those separated. I just, no, there's no way I'm going to work, coming home, and then going to work again. Then, have YouTube turning into an obligation. Like, fuck that shit, man. This is about, decompressing, no stress, and just enjoying your free time. So I could never, accept money like that. It doesn't feel right to me. Because it's another thing. What I do on here is not worth one fucking red cent. It's just not. I mean, it's up to you if you feel that I'm interesting enough, for you to join in and, interact with me. That's up to you. But no, there's no money involved here. Fuck that shit. But now we're at the local arcade here. They're playing bumper cars on random people's heads, crushing people's fucking heads. There's no sympathy in this arcade. No love, no sympathy. Greg saying, I seen Blind Fury in the theater with my dad. Shit, that is 1992, right? Shit, I was 9 years old at that time. I think I'm a year older than you. So yeah, you were probably about like 8 years old when you went and saw that. That's cool, man. See, my dad would never take me to the theater. My dad would take me to a baseball game or something. My dad was just never a movie person. So like, yeah, my dad was always like taking me to like hockey, baseball, football, or basketball games, but my dad was just never a movie person. I had to get into movies really on my own, and my mom, she's in the movies and stuff. But like me and my brother, my mom, and my sister were, but my dad just never had the patience to sit down for a full 90-minute feature or more. Yeah, The Hitcher's a classic. That's Greg. That's another one I want to get a stream scheduled for. I don't know when. We'll try to figure that out in the future. But yeah, sorry, sorry about that. But yeah, I definitely want to get The Hitcher scheduled at some point, man. It's definitely a favorite Rutger Hauer film for me. What's this girl's name again? Blonde-headed girl. The one that ends up befriending with the hobo and everything. It becomes her and the hobo, and man, he breaks that guy's arm on the fucking arcade fucking joystick. You can tell you can see that it's rubber prosthetic or whatever. It's practical, but no, I'll take that shit over any fucking computer generated image any fucking day. He said, anyone want to not feel pain ever again? Just throws a bunch of cocaine on the fucking joystick area on the arcade, shoves the dude's face into it after breaking his arm. Then everyone turns into a fucking outrage fiend, and they all start shoving their faces into the pile of drugs. But you really think like these colored filters throughout it really adds to the movie. It adds to the viewing experience with Hobo. It really does. Makes it a very vivid and colorful movie. Just very appropriate. And Russell is saying The Hitcher and Wanted, Dead or Alive with Gene Simmons are great films, right? Highly agree. Yeah, Blade Runner. Yeah, Greg, that's really Blade Runner is like a top 3 movie for me, seriously. So I did do a watch party for that one in the past, but that's obviously was done with some fucking backstabbers. So yeah, we are open to doing Blade Runner again in the future. So we're definitely going to be doing Blade Runner at some point in the future. Maybe we'll try to get that one done by the end of the year here. Maybe we'll try to thinking about it. Maybe we'll get that. I'll try to get that one scheduled like maybe November, something like that, around that time, like right after Halloween. And I know, like I noticed earlier today when I was scheduling things, I was like, we got a lot of zombie movies scheduled on the channel right now. I mean, we did Fulci's Zombie, like earlier in the month. We recently had the 40th anniversary for Day of the Dead. Then we're gonna have Planet Terror. That's a zombie movie. We got Return of the Living 40th anniversary coming on. There's a lot of zombie related movies right now on the channel, but that is going to, that'll definitely change. And I still have to, put the rest of October together, even though we do have Demons. It's not a straightforward zombie movie, but it still has that theme. Demons are very related to zombies and how zombie movies unfold, and we have Reanimator, which is, a mad scientist working with cadavers that ultimately turn into zombies. So we do have like a lot of zombie related shit on the channel right now. But no, we had the first interaction here with the hobo, Rucker as the hobo and Slick. It looks like Slick's actually gonna fuck him up with that switchblade, but Rucker Howard comes out with that sock full of change that just whacks him after hitting him with the cane too. And then, with the cherry on top, he just takes a drink out of his flask and spits on fucking Slick's face. After Slick was see, that's another thing. Slick was really about to hurt that girl. If it wasn't for the hobo, man, she probably would have ended up being killed. But as for anyone who is familiar with this movie, later on in this movie, yeah, she's gonna go through some excruciating pain, man, from what I remember at least. So yeah, the hobo goes down to the local precinct with knocked out Slick, throws him on the counter and says, "Where's the chief of police?" So now he's in an interrogation room waiting on the chief of police to come out. And unfortunately, the hobo is going to get a lesson here. And guy over at Caveman Movies, Lady Hawk is another great one with Rucker Hauer. Yeah, Matthew Broderick. Yeah, I really want to see that one again. Another one I don't have in my collection. But yeah, isn't Michelle Pfeiffer in that one too, if I remember correctly? Something like that. I actually forgot Matthew Broderick was in that, but I really want to get that one in my collection, give it a rewatch, go back and see it. But yeah, man, Rucker Hauer. Like another thing is like seeing Rucker Hauer when I was a kid. Seeing him in like Blade Runner, seeing him in The Hitcher and stuff. I wouldn't say Rucker Hauer is like an ugly person by any standards, but there's just something menacing about seeing him as a villain on screen as a kid. Whenever I would see his face in a movie growing up and, a lot of first time watches, he scared the shit out of me. Just really fucking scared the shit out of me, man. So that's another thing, like growing up with Rucker Hauer movies, just very impactful, just, really lingered with me, left a lasting impact just by looking at him on screen and how, straightforward he is with his acting. He was very impressive as a villain, man. Sucks we don't have him anymore, but that really makes me appreciate movies like Hobo a lot more, though. Glad that, they got this movie done with him and managed to get him out of that, continuous villain role that he's known for, Actually have him as the hero for once. Welcome to Fucktown. So now, yeah, he realizes that, Slick and Ivan are, they're working together with the chief of police. All the cops are dirty as fuck. Man, they're going to fuck the hobo up here, though, man. They're going to cut him up bad. I think he carves like scumbag or something on his chest. He said, yeah, I'm going to carve a billboard on his chest. Great practicals. Yeah, it's another. Even the blood looks so realistic. That dark red looking blood, man. But yeah, that's another one that's worth mentioning there, though, guy. Lady Hawk, or it's either. Oh yeah, Nighthawks. That's another one, right? Fuck. Maybe that's the one with Michelle Pfeiffer, Nighthawk. I don't know. I'm off of my knowledge right now. I'm sure you guys will correct me, but yeah, there you go, Greg. The 1981 film Nighthawks. Yes, that is right, Russell. This is a Canadian-made production. So yeah, once the hobo gets a lesson here, they toss him off the top of the precinct right into the fucking dumpster. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try to get Blade Runner scheduled right after the Halloween season, because like really from here on out, like here's my thing. Like I'm such a like I love horror movies. I love the fall season and the Halloween season, the holiday that goes with it. So for me, like once that 100-day countdown starts, which started on the 23rd, I'm like anything that is horror related and even related to the Halloween season. That's the stuff I really focus on. So besides any significant anniversaries that are coming up that we'll do streams for, I'm trying to focus on the things that I enjoy watching at this time of year. So for me, Blade Runner is just not a movie that's on my radar at this time of year, even though I can watch it any time of year. It's just, I put that off for a later time because there's other movies I just want to watch during this season. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, 1992. Yeah, like I've never really been a big fan of the Buffy movie and the series and all that stuff, but yeah, definitely a huge fan base out there for that. And George the Sailor Outlaw saying, at some point in time, Sean, you need to get a Discord server. What is a Discord server? I know I've heard of that before. Not exactly sure what that is. Discord server. I mean, I'll just have to make a mental note of that and search for it online. I'll probably get a lesson on that, but I'm not exactly sure what that is. George. And Greg saying Rucker Hauer is also in the Lex series, right? You know what's funny? When we recently did the Batman movies, Christopher Nolan's movies, I forgot Rucker Hauer was in those movies, or he's at least in Batman Begins. I know that. Can't remember right now if he's in the other two. But yeah, it's his work ethic, man. It's just there's nothing to question about that, man. He fucking constantly worked all the way up to the day he died. So after the hobo accidentally saves this hooker here, this street call girl, she takes him in to her apartment. It's the only bit of love and sympathy that they're both going to even find in Fucktown. The only two people that probably actually give a shit about anything. So yeah, she's going to go ahead and treat his wound that's been carved on his chest there by Slick. And yeah, it's Hobo. He just gets the vibe that it's a very kind and caring person, just someone who's very intelligent too, just very mindful of others. But like he gets it in her head, or I guess he gets this image of her in his head that she's she should be a school teacher and she should be teaching little kids and stuff. But it's like not even like at one point does she say like, "Oh, I'm going to school to be a teacher," or "I teach at a school," or "I intern," or whatever it is. He just automatically says like what she should be doing and how she should be living her life. even though he doesn't have his shit together. And Caveman saying, Sailor, you have one more. Okay, that's good to see a guy over there subscribe to you there, George. And everyone, yeah, everyone, please subscribe to George over at Sailor Outlaw. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I like to share links, but sometimes I only get to that when like the chat's like kind of dead and quiet. When I'm like, I don't know, it could just be a lot to sometimes juggle things, do like all that stuff. So that is the very helpful thing of being able to give someone a wrench and have them be a moderator because they can share the link. So yeah, thank you for doing that there, guy. It's another thing. I think that stuff's important during streams to be clicking on names, going to other people's channels, sharing those links. Because other times, like think about it, how else are people getting subscribers? A lot of people just don't randomly subscribe to things or people's channels. And it's, besides the streams, it's almost like the only way you could really get subscribers is if like you run a contest and you make rules such as like, all right, if you want to enter the contest, you got to like this video, leave a comment, and you have to be subscribed to my channel. And then, you make a contest entry or whatever it is, and you share that person's channel, and that should, motivate people to subscribe. But besides those two methods of trying to, get your channel to grow, there isn't really many other ways to do it, like to actually do that. So yeah, with saying that, I understand the value of sharing channel links, and I certainly don't have an issue with that shit. Unlike some fucking miserable motherfuckers. Obviously, fucking, Texas hates that shit. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. All bent out of shape because someone wants to share a channel link? Like, go fucking fly a kite, you fucking miserable piece of shit. And we got Erica's here from EA Horror. What's up there, Erica? Hello, Sean. Hello, everyone. Yeah, good to see you here, Erica. Hopefully all is well with you. And yeah, thank you for stopping by. Timestamp is currently, I just passed 27 minutes. I'm at 27:07 right now. So we have about an hour left in the movie. So the movie's, all right, so I was wrong. It wasn't an hour 24, it was hour 26. That's how long the movie is, which is, still short. And with the pacing in this movie, it really just breezes by. It's such an enjoyable movie. So now, it's the next day. Hobo's a little bit more healed from his billboard carving on his chest. The word scum. I think that's what it said, scum on there, scum or scumbag. He got carved on his chest. But now he's seeing, the local pimp and how he's treating all his ladies, man. Some random guy driving around in a Santa outfit with a little girl screaming in the back of the car, help me! What's wrong with that situation right there, But yeah, anyone who has a wrench, you are definitely free to share channel links. But I mean, I'll try to get around to that in a little bit here. But if I don't, just try to go directly to people's channels. Like I know when I'm in people's live streams, and as long as I'm able to like do that and like multitask, yeah, I try to subscribe to people, and hopefully, they'll be mindful enough to return the favor. But yeah, it's hard to build your numbers, man. It just is. And then it's hard to sustain that stuff and stay consistent. It just is, man. And it can be a little, deflating and frustrating when it doesn't go your way, but you really just got to take this shit for what it is, though. You got to really focus on the one thing that's more important, and that's why you're here in the first place. It's just enjoying the interactions with the content. I think that's the most important thing, really. But now this is where, the hobos come across this random street guy with a fucking camcorder, and he's offering to pay him $10 to chew on some fucking glass from a broken bottle, which is obviously, that's just rock candy, for the movie. But man, it looks so legit. Smile for the camera. I'm sorry, $10 to chew on glass. I'd be like, if I was really desperate, I'd be like, I want 500 fucking dollars. I want like 500 or $1,000 because my mouth's gonna have lacerations on the inside. $10 ain't gonna cover shit on that. Not even 20, 30, 40, $50. Like, I want a couple $100. You want me to chew some glass? If I'm that desperate for money. Oh yeah, I still got to work on getting that video uploaded. I'm gonna try to have a video uploaded this weekend because a subscriber recently sent me a lot of like probably like 25, 30 some movies here. So I'm gonna like unbox all that stuff on my channel soon. But you know, I did recently pick up some movies here on my own. And I'm really glad I finally got this one. Glad that, that's another thing, man. You can say what you want about Scream Factory. Obviously, they're just, there's other studios out there that are just a little bit better than them. That's fine. But thank God for fucking Scream Factory for coming through with this one. Because this is a Netflix movie. It's one of the earlier Blumhouse movies. And it just looked like we were never going to have a legit copy of this movie at all. But yeah, finally picked up the 4K for Hush. Really glad I was able to get this one, especially with the slipcover, too. Still available with the slipcover there. But yeah, it is a 4 disc set. And you obviously you get two cuts of the movie. You get the original version, which I think is around like 86, 85, 86 minutes. But that's another thing. I've never seen this extended cut, which is called the Shush cut. I think that is. Yes, yeah, it's called the Shush cut. So there is an extended version. So that'll be a, first time watch for me. Yeah, really glad to have this one in the collection because that's another thing. I've only seen it one time streaming. I streamed it one time. Like, I think this came out in like 2016, something like that. But yeah, really good horror thriller overall about, a girl who was deaf. She ends up being stalked by a really weird guy one night and she's on her own and everything. But yeah, I was really impressed with that. I think that really is one of the better earlier Blumhouse movies. So yeah, Russell saying I need to find a cheap version. Cheap version of not sure. But Greg saying region free disc are great. Yeah, those are always, region free. Anything region free can help you sleep better at night as a collector. But I guess that's probably one of the better things about the 4K format, besides the picture and the audio, is the fact that all 4Ks are region free. But region codes are just fucking stupid, man. Really, fucking stupid. But yeah, now we're at the Pawn Till Dawn now is where we're at here, and you got three fucking scumbags in here trying to rob the place, and this is where the hobo was actually in the process of trying to buy a lawnmower, and he stops looking at the lawnmower and he sees a shotgun on the wall, and this is where the hobo is about to get his name. Now one of the guys is actually wearing the witch mask from Halloween 3. Man, that's another thing. Like, when that shotgun, when you hear those shotgun blasts in this movie, when it enters someone's body, the huge blood splatter, it's almost sounds like a bucket of paint being poured on someone. You vultures circle this city, tearing off flesh from everyone that is innocent. Well, not anymore. I want you out of this city. You and your grave robbing friends. Spread the fucking word. Oh, man. He just blew that dude's head off, man. And then the fucking, the blood that fucking back spattered off. So he actually takes the money off of the robbers to pay for the shotgun and tells the fucking owner to keep the change. But yeah, so the hobo is now a hobo with a shotgun. But yeah, he's dishing out revenge now, man. Yeah, it's definitely satisfying to see the fucking guy filming the bum fights. He's gonna make him eat the fucking film footage out of the VHS tape. And yeah, guy over at Caveman saying HD DVD was the first region free, no matter what country you were in. Okay. Yeah, and Eric is saying, "Oh, that was nice." I don't know why, like a prostitute or a hooker feels that they need a pimp. I'd be like, "Fuck you, man. I'm gonna go fucking sell my pussy on my own." Like, fuck you, man. I don't know. I just don't understand the concept and the process of being like, oh, I gotta go have sex with this guy and that guy. I gotta go give some of the money to, my sugar daddy or whatever the fuck you want to call it, my pimp. Like, it's just like, what? I'd be like, fuck this shit, man. Do this shit on my own. I don't need you. I mean, shit, with all due respect, pussy sells itself, right? A guy over at Caveman saying his birthday is coming up in September. Yeah, a lot of you guys got birthdays coming up. I am an April birthday, but yeah, I'm 42 now. I'm always the day before Hitler's birthday and the day of the Oklahoma City bombing, April 19th, unfortunately. Actually, I remember that too, when that shit happened. Because, yeah, it happened on my birthday. My birthday was actually very disrupted that day, which is like, I was a kid, so I'm like, oh, what the fuck? This is the end of the world. But, when I look back on that now, it's like, obviously that's just something that was just a lot more important than some random kid's birthday. But, that's another thing between like Waco and Oklahoma City bombing. That's something I have to be reminded about every year on my birthday. So, like, just imagine people that have birthdays on September 11th and have to constantly be reminded, of the anniversary of 9/11 and everything. I mean, it's, I'm able to really look past all that stuff. I don't really let it affect my life, but it just sucks when it's always like every year, like, fuck, man, I always got to hear about Waco and Oklahoma City bombing and everything every year on my birthday. Damn. I forget the guy who's playing that news anchor. I know he looks so familiar. He could be like one of the guys involved, could be like one of the producers, but I know I've seen him in something else. So maybe he is like an actual, like, legit actor. But this voters table that Ivan and Slick are sitting at right now, like, you see like the random like three wise men or whatever the fuck they are on the side. They almost look like dead corpses in a way. Now this is where Slick is explaining to his dad Drake. Oh, all right, I see now. This voters table is supposed to represent the Last Supper with Jesus Christ and everything. I didn't realize that right away. When Drake's getting on his son's shit now. You let that hobo carve you up like a fucking jack-o'-lantern. And Stephanie's here. Stephanie H. I'm sorry, H. No, it's not H. S. Fuck. Stephanie S is here. But yeah, that's a new subscriber to the channel that I believe I've met here from 59 Survivor of the VHS. I'm sure he'll show up at some point if he has time. But way down along the stream, very, very sweet it'll be. Hello, CWO crew. It's me, Stephanie. Hello, Stephanie. Hopefully all is well with you. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us here. And Eric is saying, was he really? I didn't know that. Oh, I got a little ahead of myself. What was the conversation we were having? Are we talking about Rucker Hauer? I'm sorry, I'm a little lost in the sauce right now. All right, we were right here. Greg saying Rucker Hauer was great in any role he was in. Yeah, definitely. He played a good and bad guy. Yeah, mostly known for the villain, but yeah, always good in everything he's done. But I really thought too, like when this movie was coming out, I was like Rucker Hauer as like the hero hobo. Like I know he's an actor, he can pull it off, but I'm just like I almost like just like that stereotype of him. I'm so used to him being the villain. You know what? That's all I'm saying. But no, it's without a doubt, no question. He can tackle anything that's thrown at him as far as, playing a role, whether it's a villain or a hero or whatever. I mean, like even in Batman Begins, he's kind of like a subtle villain in that because he's one of the ones working in the Wayne Enterprises, and obviously he's doing shit behind people's backs and stuff. So he's more of a subtle villain in Batman Begins. Oh no, man! Forgot about this scene here where Slick and Ivan torched his fucking yellow bus with all the little kids inside. Oh man! Hey, you kids like school? Hey, I asked you a question. Do you kids like school? Yeah. What about ice cream? You kids like ice cream? Yeah. And bicycles? Huh? Yeah. And hobos! And he fucking lights them all on fire. I hate hobos! Oh man, you got fucking Ivan sitting there with two fucking radios, just listening. Burn, baby, burning. Disco's burning. I guess you could have a better song, for this moment, right? Oh, now it's on the news. School bus was found burning with kids inside. There were undisclosed number of children inside, and there were no survivors. Oh, but this ends up setting off the hobo too, though, man. He's already got a fucking, he's already got the shotgun. And of course, Ivan and fucking Slick show up to the fucking newscast, and they fucking kill the news anchor with an ice skate. He just jams an ice skate right into his chest cavity. Caveman saying there was a stripper actually had a fake leg dance with one leg or dancing with the fake leg as a prop. Oh, God. Well, we'll be watching Planet Terror on Sunday, and Rose McGowan, she'll have that M16 leg, when she loses her leg. Well, I'm looking forward to watching Planet Terror again. So yeah, that'll be Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just a little bit earlier than the usual 10 o'clock time. So overall, like whenever you see me stream on the weekends, mostly Sundays, I'm going to try to go live a little bit earlier. And one of the reasons why I'm doing that is because of the fact that Sunday is more like a laid back day for me. I don't really do much on Sundays. So that allows me to be open to go live a bit earlier. So I also thought about it, was like, that might be able to pull in other viewers who, because like I hear people sometimes like they'll leave comments on like a stream, and they'll be like, I would love to join in for a stream, but it's all like when you go live, it's always too late for me. So I try to be considerate of, people living in different time zones with that. So I figure Sundays is probably the best time to go, like maybe go live a bit earlier, like 3 hours earlier than the usual time that I go live. So it's, I've noticed so far with doing that, it has pulled in some other people. So I'm just trying to be, mindful and considerate of that. Just hearing out what people have to say in comments about. This is like the breakdown of the movie here. So yeah, Hobo's trying to figure out what to do because right now Ivan and Slick and all of his fucking scumbag friends are just running rampant throughout Fucktown right now, and they're just fucking making people pay. And Stephanie, why am I saying H? Stephanie S. Jesus Christ. Hi, Greg. Grindhouse was ahead of the game and bringing back the gritty retro style. Right, definitely right about that. And Eric is saying happy early birthday to you, Russell. I mean, he has some legit fireworks in this movie too. But yeah, I'm very glad to be seeing this again because, like I said, beginning of the stream, it's been a long time since I've seen this one. This movie came out in 2011. I'd say it's probably been close to 10 years since I've seen this movie. It's got to be somewhere between like 5 and 10 years since I've last seen this. Oh God, these crooked cops here talking about like like how good looking this fucking hooker looks and how attracted they are to her. And the guy's like, man, she's so hot, I would eat the peanuts out of her shit. Oh, God. So that's why I still smoke frogs or smoke fags, cigarettes. Yeah, that's right. People do call cigarettes fags or squares. People will call you, yeah, you got a square? Yeah, that's right, Stephanie. It's another one we lost. David Lynch, rest in peace. Yeah, he loved his cigarettes, though. Yeah, when he passed away, I did do a stream for the Elephant Man. I know some people might find that a little surprising, but the Elephant Man was always my favorite film from David Lynch. And to me, like the Elephant Man, the reason why that's always been my favorite from him, because out of any movie I've ever seen from David Lynch, that's the only one that like really like hit me where I live, like with watching that movie. Like, I always enjoy, David Lynch's work, his other films, but that's the only one that ever like hit me emotionally when I watched it. Like, especially like the first time I ever saw it. Like when you get up to like those final moments in the movie and see what happens with the Elephant Man and how he peacefully, passes on and everything. It just, man, just sad, fucking sad. But another thing is with the Elephant Man, it's just the movie was filmed in 1980. It's a black and white movie that takes place in like what, like the early 1900s or the 20s, something like that. Like that movie really does a good job at taking you to that time period, and it just makes you feel like you're actually in like the 1900s, the early 1900s. So all right, so Russell's birthday is August 5th. Yeah, thank you for letting me know that. Yeah, that's right around the corner. Yeah, I think you did say 7 days from now. Yeah, happy early birthday to you, Russell. I'll try to, I'm gonna bookmark that mentally there and try to make a post for you on your birthday. Oh yeah, Hobo came up out of nowhere and just killed that fucking crooked cop. But all the blood and the guts from him fucking blowing away this cop with the shotgun, it's all spraying over her. And she's like, stop, stop, why are you doing this? And she's literally doused in fucking blood and all guts and all types of shit. But now the lynch mob's out. They can hear all the fucking shotgun blasts going off. The lynch mob's coming for him now. She's like, what are you doing? I'm cleaning the streets from the shit and the smell. I'm sick of smelling this shit. The final act in this movie, though, is pretty fucking epic. Just completely over the top, all logic out the window. It's so fun, though. It's another movie that really, just watching this kind of just reminds me of another movie that we recently got is the movie VFW. Like that's another one with Joe Begos. He's another one that likes to use those colorful filters throughout his movies. So like just based on like the colorful filters that we had throughout this with Hobo, that just really reminds me of like Joe Begos movies. With like VFW, Bliss, even Christmas, Bloody Christmas, those movies. But yeah, Joe Begos is one of those people that really enjoys his colorful filters. And Caveman saying Miss Caveman's birthday is August 4th, and his is September 25th. It's good to know, man. It's good to know. Thank you for sharing that. So our Erica said she's never seen Hobo with a shotgun. So yeah, I guess if you're joining in, yeah, you're gonna enjoy the rest of the ride with this, man. It's fucking nuts. But yeah, Erica, I don't know if you're fully aware, but this started out as just a trailer with the Grindhouse movies with Planet Terror and Death Proof, kind of like how like the Machete movie that started out as just a trailer in the Grindhouse movie, and then I guess word of mouth got out there, it got hyped up more, and people became motivated to actually get these movies off the ground and done. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was like sharing like recent movie pickups here. I also did pick up. I finally picked up Nosferatu in 4K. Yeah, I picked that up on Amazon because it was on sale. I think it was like $14.99, and I had some like Amazon rewards, so it made it cheaper. But yeah, movie looks amazing in 4K. So that's another thing. Like I really wasn't planning on getting the 4K, but it was so cheap, and like the slipcover looked better without the blue bar up there. But yeah, man, this movie looks fucking amazing in 4K. I was very impressed to see this in 4K. I believe this is still like $14.99 on Amazon right now. So yeah, I mean, if you enjoyed this movie and you don't own it, I'd say pick this up ASAP. And then another one I picked up. I've been wanting to see this movie for such a long time. I kept putting it on the back burner, mostly based on the fact that it was a little overpriced. But it's always like I always, get excited when I can add a new Blue Underground title to the collection. But this one has Klaus Kinski in it and Oliver Reed. It's the 1981 film Venom. This was a first time watch for me too. I really enjoyed this. This movie's about a black mamba snake, and basically this is like a heist movie in a way. There's these two guys who decide to kidnap someone, and once they get into this house and they kidnap this person, they don't realize that this little boy, a black mamba snake in the house, and it ends up being loose. So the movie does a good job with the heist situation, with distracting you from the fact there's a poisonous snake in the house. So because you're so wrapped up in the drama that's going on, and the snake is just randomly going through the house, going through like the heat vents and all types of shit. So yeah, the fact that you're focused on like a kidnapping heist going on, this movie can really, or just that story alone can distract you from the fact that there's a bigger problem with a very poisonous snake in the house. But I was really impressed by this movie. I enjoyed it. Really glad that I finally can see this one and add it to the collection. Yeah, now Slick and Ivan, they got ice skates on. Slick says to Ivan, "Now you're gonna ruin your skates." Yeah, but you know what? I ruin everything. Why don't you get up, beggar? Why don't you get up and beg for your fucking life? Oh, that's where she's gonna cut the shit out of him, right? Yeah, she picked up some broken glass off the fucking floor. She cut the shit out of Slick, man. She cut his face pretty bad there. And Greg's mentioning Split Second is a hard one to come by, out of print and expensive. Yeah, wasn't that like an MVD visual release or something like that? I forget, but yeah, thanks for letting me know that. I wasn't aware, but only on VHS and DVD, I think. Okay. I think MDV Visual like released a Blu-ray for it or something like that. Oh, yo, I forgot about this scene too. He's gonna take the hacksaw to her neck here. Oh, that might be a little bit of CG there, which is necessary. You know, I mean, if that is, I can't confirm that. It's such a quick scene. It's like such a quick glimpse when he puts that hacksaw to her neck. This is inventive here, man. The ice skate in the toaster, and he's getting electrocuted. Oh, yeah, it's such an inventive scene here. Hobo, let's go with the fucking toaster. He's like, I don't have to do nothing. He's getting electrocuted by the toaster. But what's he say? He says something funny though when he wakes up. He wakes up from being electrocuted. I think he has like an orgasm or something. Yeah, Hobo's gonna get some revenge now. Do you know me? Yeah, fucking Ivan's hands like melted and shit. He's like, he made me come. So fucking Ivan ended up having an orgasm being electrocuted from a toaster. It was, I don't know. That's something you can't just I don't know. It's something I couldn't conjure up in my head. What Russell's saying, he watched Split Second on here on YouTube. Yeah, you might be right, Greg. I'll have to search that, but I think it was MDV Visual that released it on Blu-ray. I remember seeing like the artwork for it too. Oh, this is where Slick gets his dick blown off here. The fucking shotgun. And, how convenient is it? He gets blown back into a phone booth, and then he uses the phone to call his dad. Yeah, Dad, my whole body hurts. He shot my dick off. Oh, he's like holding all the excess skin that's hanging off. Oh God. Yeah, they don't shy on the graphic violence in this. It's another thing that makes this movie so fucking fun. And yeah, Russell's saying everything happens in threes. Who's next? And I don't really understand the end of this scene here because the yellow bus shows up and it's all burned up and there's smoke coming out of it, but Slick ends up being inside of the bus. So it's almost like this kind of like apparition type of moment, this like ghostly vision or something. Because now he's inside the school bus and he's like banging on the window as if he's burning alive in the school bus. But like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain that really. So yeah, the hobo gets, he gets the call girl, the hooker, and the shopping cart. Her neck has been chopped with a fucking hacksaw. She almost lost her head. So he goes right to the local hospital, goes up to the receptionist with a shotgun, fucking cocks the thing back. And he's like, "That's her." And he's like, they're taking her away on the gurney and everything. He's on top of her, dumping fucking liquor on top of her wounds and shit. Oh, forgot about the plague. The two brutal fucking plague guys in this. But yeah, Drake has summoned the plague. Which is ultimately just two humanoid type of guys who are dressed up in these very heavy metal outfits. I don't know what the hell. Homemade metal outfits, I guess. I don't know what you would call this shit. Yeah, they're wearing like this heavy metal armor. But yeah, the call girl, she's obviously being sewn up right now from having like a fraction of her neck being cut up from the hacksaw from Slick. But now she's starting to flatline, and the doctors are panicking. They're actually punching her in the chest. Wake up! Live, you fucking whore! Who says that? What doctor says that, right? Oh, no, she's flatlining. Don't you fucking die, you whore! And then she wakes up, though. She wakes up, she's choking on blood. That's it. Stay with us, you fucking hooker. Alice Cooper's still going. Yeah, that's a good one to mention there, Greg. Yeah, he's still kicking. He's still with us. Yeah, definitely. Definitely share your channel, guy. But yeah, guys saying, could I get a few subscribers? Thanks. Yeah, please. Wait, the link's shared there, right? I think so. Well, why don't we do this? I can't do that from here. I can't share his channel link right now. But guy, yeah, caveman, share your channel link. But yeah, guys, please go on over, and if you're not subscribed to Guy over at Caveman Movies and More, please try to hook him up with a subscription there, and definitely ring the bell. But look, if you're one of those people that doesn't like want to watch other people's content, that's fine. But you can at least give someone the sub. It doesn't hurt to subscribe, and that's up to you if you want the bell on. There you go. But yeah, please go on over and subscribe to Caveman Movies and More. Bob Wells. Who's Bob Wells? Russell's saying. Bob Wells. See, I don't have that other device anymore to like look things up on the side while I'm streaming. That other cell phone device I was using, the thing burned out, dude. The screen just went black. It doesn't work anymore. It's just like an older touchscreen Samsung Android phone, but and Caveman saying he also lost Ann Burrell, famous chef, dies by suicide in New York. Jesus Christ. Charles, yeah, that's his name. Thank you, Greg. Charles Dutton, the black guy that was in Surviving the Game, Alien 3. He's in that Sean Astin movie, Rudy. But yeah, another really good character actor with Charles Dutton. But apparently he did some real prison time. That guy, before he became like a more well known actor, he did some serious time in prison. And Russell saying he's also in the film Would You Rather with Jeffrey Combs. Love that DVD. Yo, that is a very underrated movie in my opinion. That's honestly that, like, I'm glad you're mentioning that one, Russell, because that's really a movie I would like to do a stream for too. I think that would be a very, I think that'd be a type of movie that'd be very enjoyable for like a watch party, and we could probably even get some first time people watching it because I feel like that movie's very overlooked, underappreciated, and just not seen enough by people. But yeah, I was very surprised by that one. And the funny thing is that, with you mentioning that with Jeffrey Combs was the reason why I even watched it. I love Jeffrey Combs as an actor. So hearing that he was in that movie, reading about the concept of it, I was like, oh, I gotta watch this. There's Jeffrey Combs in it. Just like, gotta give this a chance. But you know what else Jeffrey Combs is really good in, actually? It surprised me just a little bit because of how fucking over the top the whole segment is. He's in that werewolf episode from Creepshow season 1, the Shudder series. He plays a Nazi in this, and his Nazi performance with his German accent is so fucking good, so convincing. But yeah, obviously it's a werewolf segment, but that's from the first season. There, he was really good in that. I was really impressed by his performance in that. What the hell's the name of the episode? Let's see if I can find out the title of that story in this. Oh, it's called Bad Wolf Down. But yeah, it's like Nazis, fighting, it's like, yeah, World War shit going on. And the Nazis, I think they get like ambushed by like werewolves and all this shit. But yeah, really impressive stuff. And yeah, Jeffrey Combs as a Nazi with that thick German accent was just really, really convincing, and very impressed by that. This is where we get him to actually say his title here, because he's talking to all the babies in the nursery and how, like, they're newly born and they have a future. They have nothing to get in their way. And he's saying, you don't want to end up like me, like a hobo with a shotgun. And now the plague is showing up to the hospital. This is not good for anybody. This random doctor gets all pissed off. That's it. I am sick and tired of you junkies. Damn, put that sword right through that doctor's chest. Hey, the other fucking plague guy, goes to the receptionist, doesn't even have to say anything. He just looks at her and she fits down the hall. Gary Busey, too. Yeah, crazy Gary Busey still with us, right? Utah, give me 2. That's another movie I got to get scheduled in October. That's 40 years old this year. It's Silver Bullet. I got it. That's another one we'll be watching in October. I got to get that one scheduled. And Stephanie S. is saying Gary Busey needs his own theme music with a legend great in the chain. I agree with you there, Stephanie. And we have Anthony is here. Anthony Mendeola. Did I get it right this time? Hopefully I got your name right. But hey, what's going on there, Anthony? Good to see you here. We are where's my remote at? Oh, there they are. Get a timestamp here. I am at 1 hour and 4 minutes and 5 seconds for anyone that needs that. So we're we're coming up on the final act shortly here in like 5-10 minutes. But yeah, good to see you here, Anthony. Hopefully all is well with you, and thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us here. He said he's tanked. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Russell's saying, Sonny Barger, I love him and Carney with oh wow, with Jodie Foster. Yo, you guys are like really bringing up some movies that just I either haven't seen in a while or just hasn't been on my radar. So that's good to see you guys mentioning stuff like that right now. But yeah, Anthony's saying I'm tanked. Yeah, I mean, it is like 1 o'clock. Well, where I'm at, I don't know where you live at in the country, but I'm on the East Coast. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, so it is that time to be tanked, you know. Friday night, you know, as long as you're having a good time, man, it's all that matters. But yeah, guy over at Caveman Movies and More. Talk about a person who played a lot of great villains. Gary Busey, right? Yeah, except for Point Break, right? Yeah, definitely right, man. I mean, Silver Bullet, he plays like the crazy alcoholic uncle on that. So yeah, not really a villain, but you know what's funny? What's it? Predator 2? He's the villain in Under Siege. He's a villain in that. But yeah, it's Gary Busey. Yeah, he really. That's another one. You could put him in that category in that conversation of, you know, he's not just typecast as one thing. Like he can really tackle multiple kinds of roles. But yeah, I highly agree with you there, Caveman. And we got Shamarlos is here too. Hey, what's up there, Scott? Good to see you here. Thanks for stopping in here for the end of the movie, which is what we're going to be coming up on here soon. Now it's raining outside. The plague has fucking murdered everybody inside of this hospital. But now they're putting the hobo in an actual coffin right now. They're putting him in an actual coffin box. They're sealing him up. And of course, the call girl's coming out. You know, she's been revived, and she realizes that they're taking off with him. So they just took the coffin, chained it up to the motorcycle, and they're just dragging him down the street. I mean, I don't know. I almost feel like, you know, like the plague should have just been like, nah, no coffin. We're just going to chain you up and drag you raw down the street, you know. But, you know, they go back to the plague goes back to their headquarters, and you can see that there's some kind of tentacle monster in this room. You know, you see all like these octopus tentacles like flying around and shit. Yeah, hopefully all is well with you, Scott. Well, I guess we'll find out what you ate here, what you ate for dinner. And they say, I need a wrench for being a horse. Shit. Can I do it? I can't do it from here. Anthony, if you leave a comment on one of my community posts, I can do it that way. So it's going to have to happen after the stream. So if you really want to be highlighted blue with a wrench, you just go to my community post and just leave a comment, whatever it is you want to say in the comment. That's fine. Just make sure you leave a comment there, and I can add you that way. Now, I can't promise you it'll go through right away because I've had issues with other people with the moderator wrench not going through right away. Which actually, you know, speaking of which, I just realized Stephanie S. I turned her into a moderator during the last stream, and she's still not highlighted. So glitchy ass fucking YouTube, man. To me, that shit's just frustrating, especially when you keep hitting add as moderator. You just keep hitting it, and it's like, okay, they should be a mod now, right? No, they're not. But yeah, Slick is dead and gone now. Obviously, he's had his dick blown off. But it's Ivan. Ivan's all on his own now. But this is where the hobo says, I promise you, Ivan, I'm gonna bite your fucking face off. There's Stephanie saying tops is when Gary Busey thinks he is Mr. Freeze in Predator 2. I never thought of that, you know, conjured that up myself. Oh God. Could have Gary Busey versus Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. The fight for Mr. Freeze. The fight for the title of Mr. Freeze. Another breakdown scene here. This is where the call girl, you know, she's broken into the Paul Until Dawn shop. Which is, yeah, it's another part where you have to throw the logic out of the window because apparently she's a very experienced welder. She like knows how to do all this shit. So she's like, she's taking the actual shotgun, she's turning that into a sawed-off shotgun. She's actually sawing off the handle, sawing off the one barrel, changing her whole wardrobe here. But I think you could see that she was heavily influenced by the hobo. She means business. She's tired of this fucking town too. But I do love their nice little touch at the end. You remember the slap bracelets in like the 80s and the 90s? I love that at the end there. It's like her last piece to add into the wardrobe there. They put one slap bracelet on one arm and one on the other. I remember I used to have like a couple lenticular ones like that when I was a kid. Actually had a camouflage one, but they were mostly for like girls. I know that, like the slap bracelets. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, if you guys don't know what slap bracelets are, then I don't know. You either lived under a rock or you grew up on Jupiter or something. I don't know. So, all right, now she's got a speech going here. She's gonna motivate all the other bums to join up with her to fight against the plague. Because ultimately, she wants to save the hobo. Somebody's got to have the hobos back, right? For everything that he sacrifices and has done for the little bit of people that actually deserve it in this fuck town. Scott had pizza today. All right. Nothing wrong with that, man. But yeah, I find it crazy when you're like, I had 3 pizzas today. Like, what, dude? Like, I mean, it doesn't matter like what your size is, but like sometimes I'm like, is Scott like a Jabba the Hutt or something? Like, how do you eat 3 pizzas in one day? Yeah, it was funny. Russell and Stephanie said that. Welcome to the Drake Show. This is almost like some Escape from New York shit here. When Snake Plissken's got to fight that giant mongoloid barbarian guy. He kills him with the spiked bat. The culmination of one of the biggest spectacles we have ever witnessed. Everybody, please, a round of applause for the team that made this possible. The plague. Oh, wow. That's another name I haven't seen in a long time, man. Matthew Benny, Aussie VHS. Hey, what's up there, Matthew? Yeah, good to see you here, man. Hey, Sean, and great movie, and a thumbs up and great movie. But yeah, it's good to hear from you, Matthew. Yeah, I'm still subscribed to you and everything. I see you make posts and stuff from time to time. But yeah, I apologize. I'll have to get over to your channel sometime soon and get caught up on your content. But yeah, really good to see you here, though, man. Hopefully, all is well with you too, Matthew. Anthony's saying I'm not in the subs because I was in a popular band, but I'm here for it all, different days. Yeah, I hear you, man. That's all good, though. Nothing wrong with that at all, Anthony. Yeah, good day, mate. Good day, mate. Yeah, he's there. It's the Aussie. Aussie. Speaking of all things Aussie, but another movie that's 20 years old this year. And I looked it up actually not too long ago. Its release date is actually on Christmas, and that's Wolf Creek. Wolf Creek is 20 years old this year, but I didn't realize its actual release date is Christmas Day. Like, I was like, what? I remember seeing that in the theater. And I know I didn't see it on Christmas Day. I think I saw it sometime. It might have been like early January back in 2005 when I saw Wolf Creek. Like, I'm a fan of Wolf Creek. I like the first 2 a lot, really. I didn't like the series. That I only watched that first season and a lot of bad CGI in it. Yeah. But yeah, Wolf Creek 1 and 2, I'm a big fan of those movies. But apparently it had a limited theatrical release in Australia on November 3rd in 2005. And then in the US, it had its US release date on Christmas. But that's another one I'd like to try to get a stream for. Get a watch party done for is Wolf Creek at some point. But yeah, I've always been a fan of that one. Just since we have a Aussie subscriber here, and it's just like thinking about it off the top of my head, really. But yeah, make sure you guys are subscribing to each other. Moderators, you're allowed to share links out, do any of that good stuff if you want. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. Like, I know some channels you can usually just click on people's names and just go right to their channel and subscribe. I'm not sure if you guys can do that here or not. You might be able to. Stephanie saying Gary Busey is funny looking at like Anathy relative of Clark, like cousin Eddie. Cousin Eddie. I got an autographed picture of Randy Quaid as Eddie, when he's dumping the shitter, shitter fall. Got an autographed picture of that. It's out in the living room now. I can't show it to you guys right now. Oh yeah, it's a bit of a surprise right there. I forgot about it. Drake actually kills his only last son. Or I mean, his last son there. He kills Ivan. He actually shoots him. You see, folks, I provide you with nothing but the highest quality of adrenaline-filled family entertainment. No, I love her outfit though. She's got like this metal trash can lid, a welder's mask, a shotgun, just the most random bunch of things that she just, put together and made into a costume. But she's tearing up that one plague guy right now. So we should probably be done here. I think 15 minutes. I think got about 15 minutes left in this movie. Yeah, she almost got him out of the ground. Because right now, the hobo, he's got the manhole cover on his neck. He's actually in the hole. They call that the death hole. Oh, there's that spray painted message on the wall. There's a death to the hobos. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. This is so gnarly here. Drake sticks her hand in the fucking lawnmower and her hand gets all chippy chappy. Oh man. Gnarly as fuck. Oh man. Damn, yo. But like this gives her some retard strength here. Like she just wiles out on him here. She would start stabbing him with the one piece of bone from her forearm and everything. I forgot about this part though. This is gnarly as fuck here, man. That's another thing, more logic going out the window. After losing her arm like that, you'd think she'd be in shock. She would pass out. No, she's got all this strength. She's even sticking the bone in the ground right now to get the manhole cover out so she could save the hobo. Oh my God. Oh, I'm glad you requested this one, Greg. I'm having a good time rewatching Hobo with a shotgun tonight. I'm also glad we got through the technical issues in the beginning of this stream, which, delayed us by 25 minutes to get this started on time. I was thinking with that too. I was like, fuck, dude, we might have to do this stream tomorrow. I'm glad, I got through all that bullshit. Oh, the last plague guy. She killed Grinder. Now she must take his place in the plague. Eye for an eye, right? Eye for an eye, plague for a plague. Sublime Fury was 1989. Gore effects are so funny, right, Russell? They really are, man. Just fucking done perfectly in this movie. Utilized so well, man. And Anthony's saying, "What's cool is we're here, punk rock, five people, yeah. 5 punk rockers, yeah." And Nathan's here from the NDT show. What's up, Nathan? Thank you for stopping by and joining us here. We're coming up on the end of the movie soon. Timestamp is currently on my end, 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 40 seconds. So yeah, we're on the last act right now. But yeah, hopefully all is well with you, Nathan. And yeah, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us here. Anthony's saying hockey #1, GKG. Free Coke, you can't go wrong. Russell saying, yeah. Yeah, Coke is expensive, right? It's one hell of a drug. And now Drake is all fucked up, crawling and shit. Even all the like everybody in the neighborhood sees Drake in this very vulnerable moment. Now everyone loses respect for him because he's about to get he's about to get knocked off by a hobo. How could this powerful guy get knocked off by some random shitty hobo, right? Who would have been your biggest fan, you worthless street lamb? Oh, now the dirty cops are showing up. Cowgirl's still covered in blood and guts. The cops are like, drop that gun, you fucking cock-sucking garbage bag. Yeah, that's fine, Russell. Take your time, man. It's all good. And Greg saying, I took a chance on renting Hobo with a shotgun at a video store before they started phasing out. Wow. Yeah, yeah. Like places like Family Video and shit, they were still around at that time, 2010, 2011. It's a shame, man. Like, I don't have none of that stuff anymore. Actually, I don't even have like a physical media place to buy movies. My Walmarts, I go into Walmart, they'll have movies, but honestly, like 80% of the shelf where the movie should be is all empty. There's like no movies to like really pick from. And like every time I go there, it's always like, oh, it chapter 1 and 2 set. Like just a bunch of bullshit. Like I don't know. I barely even check my Walmarts anymore, man. Like I literally have nowhere to buy movies from except online and flea markets. That's it. Sad, man. It's to me, like, I don't know. I really miss walking into a store and like a store where you can buy movies from and kind of going there for one particular thing, but then finding something else that wasn't on your radar. Like that is what I miss about being able to go into a movie store and buy movies. And I think we're up on the epic showdown here. What happened to the hobo? Oh, right. I think he sacrificed himself there. I know I was just like kind of off topic. Yeah. So he kills Drake, blows his head off, but everybody else, all the dirty cops, they fucking kill him for killing Drake. You know what I think this is very reminiscent of? Is how Roddy Piper dies and they live. I think you can kind of put these two together in a way, but that's up to you guys if you guys agree with me and see it that way. But that just to me kind of reminds me of that. And then it just ends nicely there, with that 80s style music with those the yellow title credit titles there. One guy's labeled as bum fight filmmaker, a guy with the video camera. All right, so yeah, that is Hobo with a Shotgun, man. This was requested by Greg Brewer. So yeah, thank you very much though, Greg, for requesting this one. And like I said, I was already planning on doing the Grindhouse movies, and once you requested this, I was like, why don't we just do Hobo, jump into the Grindhouse movies, and then we'll try to get Machete done at the end of it. So yeah, so obviously we got through the first one here, but the next 3 movies should be really fun too. But yeah, we'll get back to the chat here in a second. But we got 7 people left in the chat right now. But so yeah, like I said, we're on the Grindhouse movies coming up next. So the next stream will be this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be watching Planet Terror. And then the other, we're going to take a day off. Then the next day after that, July 29th, that'll be Tuesday. We'll follow Planet Terror up with Death Proof. That'll be at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then I'm undecided on the day yet. It'll either be the 31st or August 1st is when we'll probably close things out with Machete. With Danny Trejo, it's Machete. But so yeah, that is what's in the pipeline, what's coming up on the channel right now. We need the 59th for the zombie movies. There is a lot of zombie movies scheduled on the channel right now, but yeah, it's always fun, when he can make it here. I know sometimes he's as far as like when I go live, it can be hard for him to always make it on time and actually, join in and everything. But he shows up when he can. You all guys do. You guys all show up when you can, and I appreciate whatever time you guys can make for this. Anthony's saying intentions to make money on YouTube is just a passion project. Yeah. And Russell saying Rucker Hauer's line, fuck the bonus and blows Gene Simmons off right. I have Blade Runner Final Cut on DVD. That's good, man. I feel like, if you're a collector of movies, Blade Runner is an essential one you gotta own, right? Russell saying he just watched the Crazies remake, kind of liked it. I still haven't seen that remake, but I mean, I'm a fan of, Romero's original movie, which I do have. Caveman saying Lady Hawk, 1985, yes, Michelle Pfeiffer, and then Nighthawks, 80. See, I get both of those movies mixed up, Lady Hawk and Nighthawks. I don't know why I get those, like, stuck together somehow sometimes. Oh, this is good, yeah. Yeah, thanks again, Greg, for, requesting this. I really had a good time with this. Umbrella releases are region free, which is great. Yeah, I have a couple Umbrella releases. Like I know I got Martyrs on Blu-ray from Umbrella. I have Razorback, which that's another one I'd like to do a stream for. Razorback, which is like Jaws on Trotters, as they call it. But that is a really good killer boar movie from 1984. Columbine High School on 420 too. Yeah, you're right. That is like the only good thing about my birthday. I mean, I do enjoy smoking weed sometimes, but it's like, oh yeah, my birthday's the day before 420. Like, fuck yeah, man. Yeah, the headlines in the HOBO. I think that's what you're referring to, Greg. Like the random headlines that you see in the newspapers and shit in this movie. Outrageous. The actor on the telly used to have the talk shows and it used to have a talk show in Toronto. Okay, thanks for clearing that up and confirming that, Russell. Caveman saying his half sister's birthday is 9/11. Yeah, that's I mean, nothing you can do about it, but that sucks. You got to be reminded of that tragedy all the time on your birthday, man. Grandpa on my mom's side of the birthday is 9/11 too. That's such life changing shit, man. I just know, like when that Oklahoma City bombing happened, it happened on my birthday. It was just like, wow, like my birthday's kind of fucked up now. Like just after all that happened, like I don't live in Oklahoma, but like I think the whole country like felt the effect of that when that happened. Just as the whole country felt the effect of how 9/11 happened, and it was like the day started out good, and then by the time the news came on about Oklahoma City bombing and everything, it was just the whole day went to shit. And me at that time, I think I was somewhere between like 10, 11, 12 years old, around that age. So I was like pissed the fuck off, like, wow, my fucking birthday's ruined now because some guy wanted to blow up a government building. Yeah, I like the 80s synth score in this too. Yeah. Besides those colorful filters that you see throughout it, the music really accommodates this movie. Even in the other Grindhouse movies too, even Machete. Yeah, done very well. Hockey skates, so Canadian ass, right, man. But all right, so we'll take this up to 2 hours. We'll hang out here for a little bit longer. We got 9 people left in the chat. We're at 1:53 now, so we'll hang out here for like another 5 minutes. But as most of you guys should know. Sorry, give me a second. But yeah, I mean, I guess for the people that are familiar with how we do things over here, I am open to subscriber requests. So that's anyone who wants to openly request a movie for us to do a live watch party for. I am open to that. It's just sometimes it can be a little hard for me to get around to them like right away. And sometimes, significant anniversaries and stuff can get in the way of that because I do like to do those streams on their release dates. But yeah, if anyone, wants to request a movie, you don't have to do it now, But I'd say it's probably best to actually request a movie through like a comment section, not like here in the chat right now, because I might accidentally overlook something like that. But yeah, if you ever want to leave a comment on something on my channel to request a movie, I'm definitely open to that. As long as it's not like, I mean, I'm very open to a lot of genres. I'm just not big on like romance and musicals really. But yeah, I'm pretty open to anything. So as long as your request is reasonable, yes, we can more than likely get that done. But see, Greg is mentioning Lethal Weapon. We haven't done any of the Lethal Weapon movies. Actually, I haven't even seen the Lethal Weapon movies in a long time. Isn't the first one like considered a Christmas movie? Kind of forget, but yeah, I'd like to go back and watch at least the first two Lethal Weapons. Isn't Joe Pesci in the second one too? I know I have like a 4-film set somewhere in this room. I know I have the first one on DVD and like a Snapcase edition, but I do have like the first 4 in like a Blu-ray set somewhere in this room. And Stephanie's mentioning Under Siege Gary Busey's cute. Dude looks like a lady. What the fuck, Stephanie? Even the music in the menu here. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It probably sounds like shit right now. It's very fitting music for the movie, though. And Russell's saying Jodie Foster's second film, Kansas City Bomber playing Raquel Welch's daughter, a roller derby film. Really? Hmm. That's intriguing. It's got my attention now. Yeah, that's right. I remember you were mentioning that to me on like Instagram, I think, Greg. You were talking about Gary Busey and Ginger Dead Man. I am aware of that. I still haven't seen that movie though. I have seen Evil Bong though. Seen that one, which is, it was okay. It was worth a one-time watch. Right, Hider in the House, right? Is it called Hider in the Cider House? Something that's like, I think it's called Hider in the House or something like that. What the fuck is that fucking Gary Busey movie? Is it not Hired? What the fuck? You guys probably already commented on it, but I mean, I'm getting there. I know I've seen that movie before too. Of course, this device doesn't want to fucking work. But yeah, 1989 movie called Hider in the House with Gary Busey. It's a little creepy in that movie. I wouldn't mind seeing that one again. Another one I don't own. Yeah, all right, it's good to see you. Greg remembers slap bracelets. 6 pizzas, Pizza the Hut, and Spaceballs. Right? But all right, so yeah, I've seen Razorback. I'm definitely a fan of that one, Greg. But I did do a stream. That was on my old channel that got terminated. I did do a stream before for Razorback. Yeah, I remember that now. Did get terminated though, but all right, we're gonna go ahead and close this one down now. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark, but I see also we have Mike's DVD and Blu-ray collection here snuck in here at the end, but yeah, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us here, Mike. But yeah, other than that, I think that is pretty much it. We have 6 people left in the chat here. So yeah, next time I'll be live on the channel. It'll be this Sunday, the 27th. We'll be kicking off the Grindhouse movies with Planet Terror at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we'll follow that up a couple days later with the other movie with Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof, but that one will be at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll be 27th and the 29th is when we're doing the Grindhouse movie. So that's Sunday and Tuesday. And then I'm going to try to see where I can squeeze in with us getting, the Danny Trejo movie Machete try to get that one done too. So, but yeah, thank you very much again, Greg, for requesting Hobo here. I had a really good time seeing this one again. But yeah, other than that, maybe I'll see you all on Sunday for the next stream. But other than that, just enjoy your weekend. And thank you all for hanging out with me here tonight. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you all in the next one, everyone.